Good morning, students. Today we are going to discuss the part 5 of the chapter 2. The name of the chapter is Sexual Reproduction in Flowering Plants. Already I have made total 4 videos from this chapter, and from these 4 videos we came to know the parts of flower, the development of the male gametophyte, microsporogenesis, development of the female gametophyte, megasporogenesis, pollen formation, pollen structure, anther formation, anther structure, and the pollination process. So in this video we are going to discuss the pollen pistil interaction, and I hope already you have gone through my last 4 videos, because this chapter is quite complicated chapter and quite important chapter in your class 12 biology syllabus. So go through these videos properly. So let's start the today's class. Today we are going to discuss the pollen pistil interaction. Before starting the topic, I think all of you know that what is the meaning of pollen, what is the meaning of pistil, and what is the main importance of this pollen pistil interaction. So what is the needs of this pollen pistil interaction? For the sexual reproduction in the flowering plants, this pollen pistil interaction is one pivotal process, one important process in the flowering plant's body. So let's start to discuss the definition of pollen pistil interaction. What is the meaning of pollen pistil interaction? The events from deposition of pollen on the stigma till the entry of pollen tube into the ovule are collectively called the pollen pistil interaction. So this is very important topic for your exam and your other competitive exam also, this pollen pistil interaction. So what is the meaning of pollen pistil interaction? Actually this is the event. This is one kind of the biological phenomenon by which the pollens become deposited on the stigma till the entry of the pollen tube into the ovule are collectively called the pollen pistil interaction. So this is the basic definition of the pollen pistil interaction. So what is the importance of this pollen pistil interaction? And if suppose this pollen pistil interaction is not there, is not takes place in the flowering plant's body, then what will be the consequence? Actually what is the basic importance of this phenomenon? That it's actually one essential step in fertilization of angiosperm body and determines the compatibility and incompatibility of pollen and pistil. So what is the meaning of compatibility and incompatibility? Compatibility means the suitability. Okay, is the if pollen and pistils are suitable for each other, compatible for each other, this is actually the main step for the sexual reproduction in the flowering plant's body. So through the pollen pistil interaction, the flowering plant's body actually get to know that these pollen and pistils are either compatible or not. Next thing is the steps of the pollen pistil interaction. This slide actually contains the steps of the pollen pistil interaction. So there are total 4 to 5 steps of the pollen pistil interaction. The first step is the recognition of compatible pollen. I am repeating again, the first step is the recognition of the compatible pollen. So what happened in this stage? That in this stage the pistil has the ability to recognize and accept the compatible pollen of the same species and to reject the pollen grain that is incompatible either of the same species or of other species. Okay, so after the pollination, after the autogamy or geitonogamy or xenogamy, okay, after the pollination, the pollen is there in the flowering plant's body to meet with the pistil. Okay, but now the pistil has the ability to recognize and accept the compatible pollen of the same species and to reject the pollen grain that is incompatible either of the same species or the different species. So after recognition of the correct pollen, actually this pistil promotes the post pollination events that lead to the fertilization process. So this is the first and foremost steps of the pollen pistil interaction. The first step is the recognition of the compatible pollen. Okay, the first step is the recognition of the compatible pollen, and in this step what happened, the pistil has the ability, pistil has their own capability to recognize and accept the compatible pollen, suitable pollen of the same species, and reject the incompatible, the unsuitable pollen of the same species or the other species. Okay, so these steps actually leads to the promotes to the post fertilization event. Okay, next step is the growth of a pollen tube. The first step, after the completing the first step, next step is the growth of a pollen tube. So what happens? So there are total 6 steps in the growth of a pollen tube. The first stage is the pollen grain reaches the receptive stigma of the carpel by the pollination process. I am repeating again, the pollen grain reaches the receptive stigma of the carpel by the pollination. Second stage is the pollen grains, after getting attached to the stigma, absorb the water and soil. Next thing, after compatible pollination, the pollen grain germinates on stigma to produce a pollen tube through one of the germ pores. And the next step is the contents of the pollen grain then move into this tube. Fifth, the pollen tube grows through the tissue of the stigma and the style by secreting the enzymes that digest them. And the last step is the germinative cell divides and form the two male gametes during the growth of the pollen tube in the stigma. Please remember this thing, two male gametes are there. Okay, so there are lots of stages are there actually included into this stage, the growth of a pollen tube. So after the selection, after the detection of the compatibility and incompatibility of the pollen to the stigma, after that what happened? The pollen grains reaches the receptive stigma of the carpel by the pollination process. The compatible pollen grain reaches the stigma of the carpel by the pollination process. Next thing, what happened? Then the pollen grains, after getting attached to the stigma by their sticky surfaces. Okay, and after the compatible pollination, the pollen grain germinates on stigma. Okay, after the sticking to the stigma, then what happened? The pollen grain becomes germinated to produce a pollen tube through one of the germ pores, and the contents of the pollen grain then move into this tube. Fifth step, the pollen tube grows through the tissue of the stigma and style by secreting the enzymes that digest them. And the last step is the germinative cell divides and from the two male gametes during the growth of the pollen tube in the stigma. This germinative cell, this term actually I think already we have discussed the pollen formation, the germinative cell and the vegetative cell. Okay, so through the mitotic division, this germinative cell actually divides and form the two male gametes during the growth of the pollen tube in the stigma. Next step is the entry of the pollen tube into the ovule. Next step is the entry of the pollen tube into the ovule. So here, after reaching the ovary, the pollen tube can enter the ovule either through the micropylar end, that's called the porogamy, or through the chalaza, that's called the chalazogamy, or through the funicle or integument, that's called the mesogamy. Okay, so I am repeating again that after reaching the ovary, the pollen tube can enter the ovule either through the micropylar end. Okay, I think all of you know that at the tip of there a small pore is there, that's called the micropylar end. This phenomenon is called the porogamy, or through the chalaza, this phenomenon is called the chalazogamy. This chalaza is present at the basal part of the ovule, and through the funicle or integument, this called the mesogamy. So it then enters one of the synergids through filiform apparatus, which directs the growth of the pollen tube by secreting the same chemical substances. Okay, next step, this is actually the lateral surface view or the transverse section of the pistil showing growth of the pollen tube. So this red color structure is called the pollen tube, and this is the antipodal. Okay, and next thing, these two, I am highlighting this portion, this two thing is called the polar nuclei, and the next thing is the egg cell, and this is the synergids. Okay, so this is actually the transverse section of the pistil showing the growth of the pollen tube. Next thing is the artificial hybridization. So this artificial hybridization is very important thing, very important phenomenon which is present actually the flowering plant's body. So what is the meaning of artificial hybridization? Okay, before starting the artificial hybridization, I hope all of you understood this pollen pistil interaction, and this pollen pistil interaction is very important for your 3 to 5 marks question. So go through this portion properly and during the time of your writing, during the time of your exam, you have to draw the picture properly. During the time of your exam, you have to draw the picture properly. Next thing is the artificial hybridization. So it's actually the crossing of different species and often genera to combine the desirable characteristics to produce the commercially superior varieties. Okay, so what is the meaning of this? That this is actually from the name, I think all of you understood properly, that the artificial hybridization. What is the meaning of artificial? Artificial means what is not natural. Okay, that's called the artificial. So in this case, different species crop, different species ovules, their texture, all those things mixed together, hybridized together and form a new variety which is actually genetically modified species, commercially superior species. Next thing is the importance. So it has been used by the plant breeders for crop improvement program. Okay, there are several steps are there for the artificial hybridization. The first step is the emasculation. So in this case, the anther is removed from the bud before it dissects using a pair of forceps. It's actually mainly done when the female parent bears the bisexual flower. Next thing is the bagging. What happened in the case of the bagging? That in this case, the emasculated flower is covered by a bag of suitable size, generally made up of butter paper, so as to prevent contamination of the stigma by unwanted pollen grains. So this is only happened in the if the female parent is unisexual, emasculation is not necessary. Okay, so why emasculation is not necessary? If the female parent is unisexual means it bears only one reproductive system, either male or female. Okay, that in that plant the emasculation is not required. So this is the two steps which is actually belongs to the artificial hybridization process. Okay, next thing is the double fertilization. This is actually the schematic pathway. Pathway of the double fertilization process, and during the time of your exam, just write down in this way, then you will get full marks. Okay, what is the meaning of double fertilization? That in this case, the pollen tube actually releases the two male gametes into the cytoplasm of the synergid. And from where we are getting these two male gametes? By the mitotic division of the generative cell. Okay, so in this case, the pollen tube actually releases the two male gametes into the cytoplasm of the synergid. Next step is called the syngamy. Okay, the next step is called the syngamy. Syngamy is actually the common term of the syngamy is actually the mixture or fusion. The pollen tube releases the two male gametes into the cytoplasm of the synergid, and then diploid zygote formation takes place. Okay, so this zygote develops into the embryo. So this is the second stage, and next stage is the triple fusion. So other male gamete moves towards the two polar nuclei located in the central cell and fuses with them to produce a diploid pen. This central cell forms the primary endosperm cell. Okay, and it develops into the endosperm. So this endosperm actually the layer which is surrounded the embryo or the zygote formation. Okay, so this endosperm actually provides the protection and nutrition to the embryo. So this is actually the picture of the double fertilization. This is actually the schematic diagram of the double fertilization. Okay, so I am repeating again this double. What is the meaning of double fertilization? Actually, double fertilization takes place in the flowering plant's body, and this has total 3 steps. The first step is the pollen tube into the synergid. The first step is the pollen tube into the synergid. So in this case, the pollen tube releases the two male gametes, because from where we are getting two male gametes? When the pollen tube actually enters to the stigma, so that time the generative cell divides mitotically and it forms the two male gametes. Already we have discussed in our last video. So here the two male gametes into the cytoplasm of the synergid portion, and in this case the pollen tube releases the two male gametes into the cytoplasm of the synergid, and after that the diploid zygote is formed. Okay, and the last step is the triple fusion. The three haploid nucleus fuse Triple fusion means the 3 fusion. So in this case other male gametes, so after the after the zygote formation there is left another male gamete is left. So this male gamete actually moves towards the 2 polar nuclei located at the central cell and fuses with them to produce a diploid pen. This central cell forms the primary endosperm cell and it develops into the endosperm layer. Okay, so that's why this is called the triple fusion. Just look at the structure. So this is the degenerative synergy, this is the zygote. Okay, one male gamete and female gamete fuse together and form the zygote. Next thing is the primary endosperm cell. This green color cell is the primary endosperm cell, that's called the PEC. Okay, and this is the primary endosperm nucleus. This is the primary endosperm nucleus. So this is the pen and this is the degenerative antipodal cell, and after that zygote is formed. This zygote structure, the first step is the globular embryo, then heart-shaped embryo, then the mature embryo. So look at the structure. This is the mature embryo. So this is the today's class. In our next class we will discuss the how embryo is formed. In our next class we will discuss how embryo is formed. So from this video we came to know the pollen pistil introduction. Okay, the next thing is the artificial hybridization and the double fertilization. This double fertilization, please go through this double fertilization properly with the diagram. Okay, please practice this diagram properly because this is important for your 5 marks question, and so many other questions may come from this portion, like what is the meaning of the PEC, what is the meaning of the pen, how diploid zygote is formed, from where we are getting 2 male gametes, and what is the meaning of the endosperm, what is the function of the endosperm, and why this is called the double fertilization, why this is called the triple fusion. So all those questions may come from this portion. So go through these portions properly, and I hope this video will help you a lot for better understanding and better memorization. In the next video we will discuss the next topic. Okay, thank you, bye.